Can a court still step in and order financial support? Well, back in 1993, the Indian Supreme Court tackled this exact question head-on in a landmark case, Chanis Dhawan versus Jalamwan Dhawan. And let me tell you, their decision drew a bright, clear line in matrimonial law that we still follow to this day.
Okay, let's just start right here. This single line from the court records, wow. It just cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? This was never just some dry, academic legal debate. It was a real human drama with unbelievably high stakes. You had a wife pleading for basic survival pitted against a very complex and frankly confusing legal system.
So, let's unpack this story. Our first section, A Millionaire's Wife Starving, really sets the stage by walking us through the long and winding legal road that finally brought Chanis Dhawan to the nation's highest court.
And believe me, this legal battle was an absolute marathon. It all kicked off way back in 1985 with what was supposed to be a divorce by mutual consent. But Chanis Dhawan later said her signature was obtained by fraud. That case gets dismissed in 1987 after a temporary truce, but they still lived apart. Then, just a few months later, the husband files a new divorce case in a totally different city, this time alleging adultery. So with that new case just dragging on, by 1990, a pretty desperate Chanis Dhawan goes back to the original court in Amritsar and files for permanent alimony. But here's the big twist. In 1991, the High Court just strikes it down. They said her claim wasn't legally maintainable. It's this messy, complicated journey that ends up teeing up a huge, fundamental legal question.
And all of that legal back and forth, all those years in court, it really just leads us here to Section 2, a crucial legal question. The whole thing, the entire complex history, it all boiled down to a single critical puzzle that only the Supreme Court could solve.
So here it is, the central issue. Can a court, using its powers under the Hindu Marriage Act, grant permanent financial support if it ends up dismissing the main divorce case? I mean, does the power to grant alimony exist all on its own, or is it fundamentally tied only to the act of actually dissolving or changing a marriage? That was the big question. And the entire legal fight really hinged on how you read Section 25 of the Hindu Marriage Act. What's so wild is that this whole massive case turns on just a handful of words. The law says a court can order alimony at the time of passing any decree or at any time subsequent thereto. Okay, sounds simple enough, right? But what exactly does any decree mean? Does dismissing a case, does that count as passing a decree? That right there was the multi-million-dollar question.
This brings us right to Section 3, Justice versus the letter of the law.